I'm Justin Davis, and this is Joe Camp's RC. With all of the scare of the FAA and the regulations coming down the pipe, the community is looking for something that will be under 250 grams, but just as fast as a 5-inch. So 4-inch might be the new 5-inch. $149 for the Dolphin Toothpick, under 250 grams with a 4S 850 battery on board. We have a wheelbase of 153 millimeters on this baby, and I'm running the HQ props today. We also have a durable TPU canopy, which seems bomber tough. And there's multiple points on the back for your slots. You have your antenna slots, dipole, and a standard size antenna hole. 200 milliwatt VTX on the back with smart audio and IRC Trant, which is sweet. And we've got the CADX Turbo EOS 2 on board, which is a pretty decent camera. Also, we're running the Geprc 20 amp ESCs and F4. This is an AIO board. It's an all-in-one board. It also has Maytech F411 firmware on board if you're looking for it inside Betaflight to reflash it. And we have 3K carbon arms, 4mm thickness, 3 bolts on the very end right there holding the motor on. And I recommend the HQ props. I'm running those 4-inch HQ props today that are pretty smooth. You'll see coming up. Also, we have low profile nuts to shave a little more weight off the total weight of the quad. And we have SpeedX branded motors, which are pretty good in the past. 1507 3200 kV motors are the power system on here, and this thing is one of the fastest quads I've seen. Decent camera protection. The camera does stick out just a little bit, but this thing feels really durable and super beastie. So let's go ahead and put it on the scale. Let me give you a dry weight. Just gonna set the Dolphin on there, see what we get. No battery, 142 grams, that's not bad. And now with a 4S 850, which is gonna get you about 3 minutes flight time, it's going to get us up to 244 grams. That is incredible, and this thing is like a little rocket. Check it out. All right, let's do the FPV flight test on the Geprc Dolphin Toothpick. I'm running a 4S 850 today, and I noticed it was so fast right off of my first flight. I blew out of that corner, almost flew into the tree, so I decided to go for a power loop right here. Look how much height above the tree. I don't get as much height with a 5-inch usually, unless I'm flying 6S with something like a regular standard 4S 1300 battery power system. This quad is fast as balls across the field. It just rips across the field. There's the yaw snap on it, looking pretty good. And it reminds me of these old school True X designs that were super nimble, really crazy in the corners, really fast corner, not a lot of blowout in the corner once you learn how to control the power, obviously. But here I just wanted to try some high up stuff for you, give it a throttle boost. I didn't see any vibes on the ascent coming up. Looking really good, nice and fast and low to the ground right there. Just another snap, going to transition back the other way, and another boost and flip back off the end of that drainage ditch right there. And now we're going to go back through the trees right here. We're going to see about if there's any blowout in this cornering, and not hardly any blowout right there. I usually have a little bit of float around that tree sometimes. And back around and across the field. And what's crazy about this quad, you guys, is that it covers so much field so fast. I'm not even sure how fast this quad actually is. We really need a radar gun on the Dolphin Toothpick to see how fast this 4S 850 milliamp battery is pushing this power system. It's crazy. It feels like a little 6S rig. I think if they came out with a quad that was under 250 grams with a 4-inch prop on there with 6S, it might actually destroy the 5-inch category, because you could still put a GoPro on a 4-inch quad. But if you're trying to get under that 250 gram mark, that unregulated mark, that's where the future of FPV might be. It might be trying to push the components smaller, increase the power, make things faster. And that's really what Gep's done here. It's kind of amazing. I don't really classify it as a traditional toothpick by any means, but 4-inch, to me, looking at this display of power and control, look at me, I was like leaning back in that. I was physically leaning back. It seems to me that like this would be the new direction for FPV and racing in general, because 4-inch with all this power on the racetrack would slay a heavier 5-inch race quad. Especially if this thing was running 6S. Right now, even on 4S battery, it's just bananas. Back around that tree, a little bit lower that time, not quite as much height. But look at that snap back around, just insane. If I had a week to fly this quad, I could probably produce a pretty wild video. And there we go, a little bit of durability test for you guys, taking back off and getting lucky. I didn't even break a prop on that one. And now I'm resetting back for another part of a battery. It's pretty cold today, so I was losing some battery flight time. You're gonna expect like 3 minutes out of a 4S 850 milliamp battery. Nice power loop around that road, no big deal. A little bit smaller profile on the 4S quad, or the 4-inch quad, so you can kind of shoot some smaller gaps if you're doing freestyle around trees. Super snappy, so freaking fast, this quad. I didn't even know where to go or what to do next. I was just having so much fun, and you guys know this is the kind of quad that I like to fly. I like to fly something that is like ridiculously fast. The faster and lighter it is, the more fun I have with it, and the more chances I'll take with it as well. I'm lucky that I didn't actually smash this one all to pieces today with some of the loops and things I was trying. But it's just so quick across the field, I can't believe it. I didn't expect this from this quad. I wasn't expecting to come out here today and have the ultimate ripper. So I think this one could probably double as a freestyle quad or a racing quad. Either way you go, it will freestyle 150%. And I think on the course, with someone that knows how to take gates and time everything right with the throttle, and maybe lower down the rates on the quad, make it a little softer in the turns, you'd have a real serious contender with something that's bind and fly. And Geprc has just been one of those companies that has been able to do that from time to time, come out with a release like this. It just kind of is a game changer as far as the components, the tune, the power experience, and the overall quality of the quad is freaking phenomenal. So I'm blown away with the Dolphin. I love it. Let's go ahead and go back to the studio, guys, and give some final thoughts and comments about the Dolphin Toothpick. Here we go. Okay, so after watching the flight test, you've got to agree with me that this quad is just it's ridiculously fast. The power to weight ratio, I love it. If you were to fly this quad, if you're a person that enjoys like super high throttle, a really nimble design, freestyle guys are going to love it. The race guys are going to love it. I feel like it's going to be an all-around good quad. If you put this up against some 5-inch quads in a race, I would like to see the results of that, because I think that this might be the future of FPV racing. 4-inch might just be the new 5-inch, honestly. Some of these companies should probably start looking at trying to build a 5-inch under 250G, but it's going to be a big challenge. So being able to just run 4-inch instead might be the answer, and maybe in 2020 we'll have more 5-inch props going the way of the Buffalo versus the 4-inch. 4-inch lost its popularity a few years ago, but with all the regs coming out in the pipe, it looks like the 4-inch might be making a comeback. So I think this is definitely the future of freestyle and FPV in general. You won't have to put a transponder on this one. It is under that 250G mark, which is really, really awesome. So I think that this kit is probably going to sell really well, really, really well, mainly because of power system on here, the durability, and the possibilities for the future. It seems like if we had a 6S version of this coming up, it would blow the doors on FPV racing. So stay tuned for more stuff from Geprc. That's the end of my review, guys. This one is definitely a hit with me. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.